All right. Well, we changed up plans.
Everything sucks.
Yeah, I know, right? Son of a bitch. Yeah, so we're B-Views, and this is not Psycho.
What?
This is not Psycho.
Why not?
I don't know.
This is not B-Views.
This is Gen Wars.
This is Generation Wars.
Correct.
And I am Johnny Juicebox.
Yes. Yes. I am Mike Shake.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I forgot to flip the camera.
Well, good job, John. That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is obviously Gen Wars, but this is not...
So, originally... Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is not Psycho.
No, it is not.
I get it now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, originally, we didn't tell people. Well, we did.
We did.
Because we announced that we had already done Psycho on the episode that got released.
Correct.
But, we had some family problems.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, life on life's terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Instead, we've got... the Psycho Juicebox Halloween Slumber Party.
Yes. How cool is that, huh?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, we kind of thought of it on Friday.
Yeah, we just kind of came up with it at a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we were wondering now what trilogies would work and what would be fun.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we could do Slumber Party Massacre.
And I said, well, we'd have to do a Gen Wars.
Yep.
And we were planning on doing one anyway.
Yeah.
So
we were planning on doing Psycho and Psycho.
Yeah. So that's what y'all missed.
Yeah, sorry.
You missed Psycho versus Psycho.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder which one's better.
I wonder. Yeah, maybe next year. I think we'll probably tack that next year.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come up with something else, or we'll just never do it.
Yeah, right.
It'll be like the Blob.
Right.
You know what? That would have been perfect, because there are 2 weeks, and we would have done a Blob Generation War, and then Beware the Blob.
It's okay. It's okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but this trilogy is going to continue on into November.
Yes. Because, well, we don't really have anything planned for November.
Not yet.
Except there's one movie we did talk about doing.
What's that?
The Suitberry Devil.
Yes, we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll just we'll just throw out ones. I think closer to Thanksgiving time, we'll probably do Thanksgiving.
Oh, you want to do Thanksgiving?
Sure.
We can do Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving 3.
Okay.
You don't want to watch Thanksgiving 3?
Thanksgiving, or we could do Thanksgiving.
I would love to do Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because I don't think we ever did that.
No.
Nope. No, that was a fun movie.
I liked it.
Yeah, that was super fun.
And that's our review.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, as you can tell, we're doing everything we can to not talk about Slumber Party
Massacre.
Massacre.
This is, come on. What do you expect? Shit.
So, I'm going to start this off with saying it's probably the only Gen Wars where I really loved both of these movies.
Okay. You didn't love both of the Shinings? When we did the original Shining? And then
I felt like it was hard to like... I thought it was hard to like anything from the Stephen King Spooktacular.
That was a very long time. But you picked the Stephen King...
Well, we were trying to come up
I know.
with stuff, and...
Yeah, Johnny actually picked the miniseries, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the Shining miniseries a
I know
lot,
you do.
But I don't know if I love either of them.
I mean, I love the OG Shining.
I love the book.
Yes.
But the Stanley Kubrick movie's not really about the book.
No,
and
it's its own thing.
The miniseries has some problems.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Shelley Duvall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, poor Wendy. She was treated like absolute garbage by that guy.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick was notoriously not great on set.
Yeah, seemed like quite the dick.
Yeah. And that shoot apparently lasted I think they said a year or two.
Yeah, because they did over 100 takes on multiple scenes.
Yeah, because Stanley Kubrick is a fucking psycho.
Yeah,
was a fucking psycho.
He was. He was very good, but he was notoriously bad.
That's how you know he didn't film the moon landing, because they would have gotten someone who wouldn't want to take so many takes.
Right. All right, back to Slumber Party Massacre.
So, Slumber Party Massacre. It's kind of a classic at this point, huh?
It's 1982.
I feel like
That's 42 years
I feel
old.
like it's one of those movies that people kind of just like put off.
Yeah.
But there are also, in more recent times, there are a lot more people who kind of hail it as a feminist classic.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there was not one, not two, but three Final Girls.
Yeah.
That's one of the only times I've really ever seen that.
All the men
where it's like, these are all Final Girls. There isn't just one that's usual.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is kind of odd.
Yeah.
Even watching it last night, it's like, there's three people that live at the end of this film.
I've watched this movie quite a few times at this point.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my second time watching it.
Like, I've watched it on my own a few times, and then I watched Joe Bob. Then I watched
Is that what you watched yesterday? Was the Joe Bob one?
Well, I had watched the Joe Bob one like 3 weeks ago or something.
Okay.
Because it was for the night marathon, and it was the first episode.
Okay.
So it was this season. Then I know we watched it for movie night.
Yes, we did. Yep.
And then I watched it for Joe Bob, and then I watched it twice more last night.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Just because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, sure. It's kind of fun.
I enjoy it.
You know what this movie, I mean, obviously we'll go through the good, the bad, the ugly, the plot, the themes, whatever.
Yeah.
We're just giving our general take.
Yeah.
What it kind of reminded me of, I was watching it at 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. And what it kind of reminded me of was the guy from Blood Feast. Kind of like the guy's reactions. And he's like all crazy.
He's all out of his mind.
Yeah, I mean,
looking.
It
even kind of has like a Herschel Gordon Lewis.
It does
vibe.
It
to
really does. I mean, the guy's kind of a.
Which version were you watching last night? Because the Joe Bob version is a remastered version. You were like, this is like VHS.
I watched it on the Roku channel. That's what I watched it on.
Oh,
yeah, because the Roku channel had both the remake and the OG.
What do you mean the Roku channel?
There's an app on the Roku.
Oh.
It's called the Roku channel.
Oh, so you didn't have to rent the second one?
I did not.
I had to rent the second one.
I did not. I just made sure that I pulled up another one just to make sure it was the remake.
For a second,
because sometimes it could be like LimeWire where you just download something and it's like, this is not what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, I was worried for the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
I watched the first 15 minutes of the remake, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, is this actually a remake?" And then, I had to look it up and be like, "Oh man," because parts of it kind of sounded like it wanted to be a sequel to the original, but it's not.
No,
so
it is not. Nope.
And I was like, "Fuck, we have a 4-part series to do now."
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that shit. No. No, but the OG, it kind of reminds me of like that dirty, grainy. I mean, obviously you watched the remastered, but mine was it was almost like from an old ass DVD or a VHS. It was very splotchy.
Fucking VHS rip.
Oh man, it was bad. But it just kind of had that feel where the killer was like, "Oh, this guy's creep."
Yeah. Like
even what it kind of reminded me of originally, because even in the original, they're listening to the radio and the killer escaped.
Yeah.
And he was a killer of women, and that's how this started as well. It's like, oh, he even kind of looks like Fuxan Ramsey.
He does.
He really does, and it's like, ooh, they're kind of trying to play towards Blood Feast here.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing: is it's a Roger Corman movie, and it's got a lot of It doesn't feel like other Roger Corman movies to me. It doesn't feel like Q the Winged Serpent or Bucket of Blood. Or,
correct.
A lot of the Corman movies that I'm familiar with, like the black and white ones.
Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors, that kind of shit.
Right.
But it's really weird format for a slasher. Because it is 1982. It's definitely trying to take advantage of the 80s slasher craze. but it feels like a movie that came out in like the 60s.
It does. It has that gross feel.
It's got like it's got this feeling of like it's weird and it's something you probably shouldn't be watching and like.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't sexploitative, but it had a lot of tits and ass. It had a lot of tits and ass.
I said that thing, and I looked it up, and I don't know where I heard it from. Okay. But I know I listened to a podcast, and they said that.
Okay.
About, Amy
Anne Holden Jones, the director.
Is it Anne Holden?
Anne Holden Jones.
Amy Holden.
No, Anne Holden Jones.
Well...
Whatever.
Sorry for getting your name wrong.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Apparently, she has never made any claims of this being a feminist film.
Okay.
Although that would make sense because it's definitely not 1980s feminism for sure.
Well, of course.
There are different waves of feminism.
Yeah.
So, and this is definitely not the kind that was going on at that point.
Right.
Because that was like, oh yeah, women... It was kind of like the boss lady kind of feminism then.
Sure. Now, did you state the quote?
What?
Did you state the quote?
Quote?
Yeah. That or the basically the goof or the trivia.
What goof? What trivia? I'm so lost today.
About Roger Corman.
Oh. So I don't know how true this is. What I heard from somewhere that I can't remember, but I looked it up online and I couldn't find it.
Okay.
What I heard is that Roger Corman said there needed to be another nude scene and recommended a shower scene because Roger Corman had a formula for his movies. Rest in peace. He recently died.
He did. He very much did.
He was really fucking old.
He was old. Yeah.
He's one of those guys I never would have expected to live like really long.
Yeah, and he did.
Just because like he's involved with all these fucking weird movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently, from what I heard, he had said that they needed to have another sex scene.
Yeah.
You know where I might have heard this? Maybe I heard this from In Search of Darkness.
Okay.
Because it sounds like something that would have been said on there.
Okay.
That he said there needed to be another nude scene, so she did this incredibly gratuitous. Like you texted me and you're like, "This scene looks like it came out of a Skinamax movie."
It truly did. I mean, it was a long scene of just women showering.
Well, what I think is really funny, like the last time I watched it, I noticed that the camera, there's only one bar of soap in the shower.
Yes.
And the camera is following the bar of soap, and it's so fucking funny to me.
I mean, it's like, really? Okay. All right, we're going there.
Yeah.
Yep. Every one of the basketball players.
Yep. And
every one of them.
It's an entire conversation that happens where we don't see anyone's face. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It feels like a parody.
It does.
Of a nude scene in a fucking movie.
It does. And it feels like something from like Naked Gun. Where
it does.
Something would do that.
Like, it totally feels like something from Naked Gun. Yeah.
It really does.
It's so bizarre.
Right.
But yeah, I heard that. I don't know how true that is, but I'm going to throw it out there. And, maybe I'm spreading false information. Fuck it.
Yeah.
What's the worst that happens? I'm wrong?
Yeah. So what?
Guys, I'm not an expert.
No.
I'm just someone who says shit on the internet.
Correct. That's mostly true.
I'm sure plenty of it is.
Yes. Yeah, so we're not trying to spread false information.
What I do know is true is that this movie was written by Rita Mae Brown, who famously writes the Sneaky Pie Mysteries, which are co-written by her cat.
That's fantastic when you told me that. Fucking fantastic.
Also famously wrote Ruby Fruit Jungle, like the really famous lesbian novel. But, like, she writes mysteries with her cat. Come on.
I mean, come on, yeah. Sure.
She credits her cat as a co-author to her books.
That's unbelievable. That makes zero sense, but I bet they're fantastic.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Because she's a great writer.
Right.
And I mean, Slumber Party Massacres, say what you want about it, the writing in it's pretty interesting.
Very much so.
Like, you're so engrossed because you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
There were multiple times during this watch where I'm like, what is happening right now?
Not as much as 2.
Right.
2, you're just like, what is happening right now? As in, why the fuck am I watching this?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I liked it a lot more the second time I watched it. But like,
right.
It's
yeah,
dude, the Driller Killer is great. He's fantastic. Really strange though for a slasher. He doesn't have a mask.
Nope.
And he talks.
Yes.
Which is really weird for the time.
Right.
Because, like, we're just coming off of Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th is a big thing. So everyone's doing like their big hulking, like, silent masked killer.
Sure.
And instead we have this guy going around with a drill with making crazy faces and saying, like, I love you. It takes a lot of love to do something like this.
It's like, all right, guy.
It's one of my favorite lines in the whole fucking movie because it just solidifies everything. Like, having that line in the movie makes this a feminist movie. That's how I view it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's an okay movie to watch.
And I don't think there's any point where, like, you want any of these characters to die. Like, as much as we make fun of, like, oh, it's all this nude scenes and, like, it's slumber party, it's traditional, like, slumber party, like, sexy slumber party shit or whatever. You actually care about all these characters and you know their personalities based on how they talk with each other and shit. And, like, it's not ham-fisted or anything. You get their personalities just naturally through the writing, which is really good. And I think that's why why this movie doesn't sit well with a lot of people.
Okay.
Too. I've heard people say this is a really disturbing movie.
Okay.
Just because, like, you like the people getting killed, which isn't very common for these kinds of slashers. Because, like, Friday the 13th, like, name one character that's not a final girl that you were sad when they died.
None.
Yeah.
None.
I mean, maybe Demon?
Yeah.
Or is that the guy I'm thinking of?
Yeah, Demon from Friday number 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
The toilet singing guy?
Yep.
And that was kind of sad.
Baby.
He was in Return of the Living Dead.
Yes, he was.
Along with what's-his-face who played Tommy Jarvis.
Yes. Absolutely.
Actually, I think it was in the same one, wasn't it?
Well, no, that was
or was
Tom
he the one in
that was
5?
Tom Matthews from 6.
Or 6, yeah.
But they have the guy who originally started all the problems in Friday the 13th Part 5. Yeah. The guy that acts that guy with the chocolate bar.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
I know.
Everyone said he was a very nice guy, but he died of cancer really young.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of the returning Living Dead have
really
a lot of Friday the 13th people.
We should talk about Return of the Living Dead at some point.
Yeah, we will.
Those movies are fucking awesome.
Right.
Well, some of those movies are fucking awesome.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so we can... it was released in 2 different times, in 2 different places.
Was it?
In September of 82, it was in L.A.
Okay.
And then November of 82, it was in New York City.
All right.
Yep.
I think that's pretty common back then, kind of, for lower budget movies.
Budget was $220,000.
That sounds like a Roger Corman budget, all right.
And then it had a box office of $3.6 million.
That is, that's why it got a sequel.
Yep.
Also, fun fact, this is the only, if I remember right, they said this is the only running series that only has women directors.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How cool is that?
That is really cool.
I really like that.
Yeah. I mean, say what you want about whether this movie's feminist or not, because you could argue both ways easily. Absolutely. I mean, there's like a weird amount of gratuitous nudity.
Yeah, there is.
And like, people do stupid shit in this movie. Of
course. It happens everywhere. Yeah.
But, like, just the fact that it's routinely given women jobs is a really cool thing.
Yeah. Yep. So we got, we can start the plot, basically. Russ escapes, I would imagine, either from prison or a mental facility.
I think they say that he escaped from a mental facility.
Okay. And then he goes around killing women.
Yeah, he goes around and kills people.
Yep.
All of the guys in this movie are fucking scumbags.
They are very bad.
There is not a redeemable male character in this movie.
Very, very bad.
And every single one of them gets absolutely fucking destroyed by someone, and it is amazing.
They do. They sure do.
Yep.
And what I noticed, not to go away from the plot, but there was an absolutely ton of jump scares in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Or trying to be jump scares, but it was unbelievably... It was just scene after scene after scene after scene.
It's kind of a slow burn. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get like your kill.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in this movie, though, just the way it was composed, is that chase through the gym.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where it, like, tells a story through images. It's so good.
Uh-huh.
Where she's running around and then she ends up getting found because he got her at the beginning and she's bleeding onto the ground and the blood goes underneath the door.
Mm-hmm. And then he drills through the door to open the door.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think that whole thing is kind of ruined after it's a cutaway scare or a cutaway kill.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping that they would finish that, but they didn't.
Because they build up so much tension with it, and then you never get to see the actual kill. You just get the scream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
it's like typical Friday the 13th, where it's like, oh, they cut away from that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like, technically it follows a proper, what would you call it? Like, the proper, like, formula.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because generally what you do is your first couple of kills are... Your first kill is going to be, like... You're going to see a little bit of it.
Yes.
Then your next kill, you might be a cutaway kill or...
Yep.
And then the kills kind of get more and more drastic. Usually the first kill that's really graphic that you see happen on screen has to be the beginning of, like... the end, like, fuck, man. I can't talk today.
That's okay. I think people understand what we're talking about.
It's supposed to be the beginning of, I don't want to say the rising action, because it's not really the beginning of the rising action.
Okay.
It's kind of the conclusion of the rising action.
Yeah.
But it's like your killer goes into a phase where they just start killing everybody. And the first one should be probably your most graphic kill.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and they follow that for sure with Friday the 13th Part 1.
Yeah.
I mean...
Where the killer kind of... Frenzying. That's the word I was looking for. The killer starts going into like a frenzy and killing a bunch of people really quickly. And... The first kill in that section of the film, in the frenzy section that I'm calling it, is the really graphic on-screen kill. Yeah. So, like, what's his face in Friday the 13th, who gets the arrow through his neck?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, that guy. I was gonna say Val from Tremors, but like...
No.
Well, yes.
Yes, but no. Wow.
Huh.
I think one of the best ones is when she gets the axe in the head.
In this one?
No.
Oh.
Friday the 13th.
I don't know. I just really like that spurt of blood that they do, because that mechanism malfunctioned.
Yeah.
So, like, he had to blow into it. And the look on Kevin Bacon's face is actually because he was surprised that it shot out so much, because it was just supposed to, like, dribble out, but since he blew into it, it shot out.
Awesome. Perfect reaction. Perfect. Anyways, back to
this is a different movie.
It is.
I love the refrigerator scene.
Oh yeah, that's now that was comedy.
I was dying laughing.
Yeah, that was comedy. Yeah,
where she just keeps opening it and closing it.
Yep, and she's sliding even more. Yeah.
And they had a good scene in the remake.
Okay.
With where they did the same thing with Guy.
Yeah, Guy 1 and Guy 2.
Guy 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where except it was like a what do they call those? Like
a chest freezer.
Yeah, like a chest freezer.
Yeah.
And he's like laying in there and he's like, "Hey, you want a beer? We got beer." And he's got the beer in his hand. Yeah. He like pulls it right out of his hand.
Keeps doing it. And then he keeps saying, "What does that smell?"
Yeah. And he's like, "What does that smell?" And they're like, "I don't smell anything." Huh. Weird. Close it. Oh, it's gone now.
All right. Yeah, we'll go into that after this.
Oh my god, that movie's so like. These movies are great.
I mean, the first one is okay.
I love the first one.
I just the pacing is so bad.
I think it's really good for what it is.
So bad.
I think this movie actually moves a lot faster than other slashers of the time.
I know, but it just feels so clunky.
Like I can see why people liked this movie.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
Well, like you watch movies like The Prowler or. The Mutilator, stuff like that, and it's all very formulaic and very based on things. I could see people going to this one and being like, "Wow, this is something a little bit different," you know. Right. And you're right; it does have weird formatting.
It does.
And it doesn't have quite as. It feels like it doesn't have quite as much plot going on as a lot of other
absolutely
slashers.
Not.
Because we don't find out that the killer's connected to these kids at all or anything.
We have no idea about that. I mean, we
don't
still
know
don't.
Anything. We don't even know exactly what he did before.
We have no idea.
He used to kill women.
Yes.
And we don't. That's the extent of the information we get about the crimes.
That's it.
We can infer that he probably killed women with a drill, but
we don't know that. We don't have any fucking clue.
Yeah.
None.
We have no idea.
None. And that's okay, because it's from 1982.
I mean, I would say that's okay, because sometimes you don't need to get bogged down in details or plot twists.
At all. At all.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, in this environment, we don't need that.
I think this is a very simple film.
Yes.
And it benefits.
Oh, I think so. Without doubt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we can go into we already kind of talked about the plot. It's basically a guy that kills people.
Honestly, that's
really it.
These girls have a slumber party. One of the girls,
that's simple.
One of the girls is invited to the slumber party, but the popular girl doesn't want her at the slumber party, so she decides not to go, but she lives across the street from them.
Right.
So
fuck you, Trisha.
Well,
I mean that's
yeah. Trisha gets fucked up. Sorry,
but I mean she does live.
Does she?
Yes.
Oh,
she's the one that.
I thought Trisha died.
No, she was the one at the end. With,
I had a lot of characters
with Valerie and Courtney, because Valerie is the one that was subjugated and kicked out of the party, or wasn't allowed at that party.
And then what was the kid sister's name?
Courtney.
Courtney?
Yeah.
That's the one that steals Playgirl magazines.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And Valerie thinks that she's doing her homework like a good kid.
No, she doesn't, because Courtney says, "I'm doing my homework," and then she says, "Okay, don't tear the centerfold out this time, though."
Oh, I didn't hear that. Good thing you caught that. I did not catch that. I like that. Oh, that adds to it.
Like, Valerie and Courtney are kind of the highlights of this movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, I kind of bought them as sisters.
Yeah.
Like, the writing was very good. I didn't find anything, like, unbelievable, necessarily.
No.
Other than, like, maybe normal stuff you would find a little unbelievable in this movie. There are a lot of, like, fake-out jump scares in this movie.
Oh, there's a lot.
And
there is a lot. Holy fuck.
And
it's like we just stated, it's in almost every scene.
There's a cat scare.
Yes.
But, like, it's really funny to me because it's Trisha, right? It's her house.
That's the murder house, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so it's Trisha who's going around. She's the one who Mr. Content is.
Who?
Mr. Content, the neighbor.
Oh, yes.
He's snail hunting.
Oh, yes.
Breaking into this family's house, I guess. Because it's really weird. Because he's like, oh, I thought I heard a noise, so I came over. But he came from upstairs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for a hot second, you're just like, is he the killer? But then you're like, no, we saw the killer's face. That's definitely not him.
Right.
This guy's just weird.
Right, exactly.
And goes around killing snails with a meat cleaver and saying this is the only real way to do it. But like...
Dude, you're killing snails with a fucking meat cleaver.
He's like, this is the only sure way to do it. And I'm like, what about salt? Like, that kills snails. It melts them.
Yeah, he just wants to kill things.
No, he just wants to be there to jump scare everybody.
Yeah, there's that guy again.
Because I'm pretty sure he is the fake jump scare 3 separate times.
Yes. Yeah, he is.
He also has one of my favorite scenes, which is when the girl's like, oh, Maui Wowie. And she's like trying to give her signals, like, no, shut the fuck up. There's an adult here. And she's like, well, what's wrong? And he just like comes up behind her and sniffs the weed. And he's like,
Typical old creep.
Yeah, then he's just like, look, just go easy on the Maui Wowie, guys. Yeah. It's fine. I won't tell anyone.
Right.
Like, leaves.
Right. Thanks, dude.
As weird as he seems, he doesn't seem like he's a creep.
Uh-huh.
He just seems
he's just there,
awkward.
And he's old.
He's not old, but like...
He's kind of old.
I think he's in his, 40s probably?
I don't know.
Like, he didn't even have gray hair.
No. I thought we can go on to the good, bad, and the ugly. Mm-hmm. Good is... It has a lot of good kills.
Yeah, for its $200,000 budget.
It has a lot of good kills.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually the drill kills look really good.
Yeah. I thought it was cool when Coach Joan came over.
Yeah.
And then she got sliced in the guts.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And it's like, fuck, that looked really good for this.
Although I'm not sure if a drill would work that way or
not. It would not. It would not. Absolutely not. Unless it had like a diamond head tip.
Maybe.
That'd be the only way. Because usually it's just a round tip and then it just circles down.
Well, I don't even... Like, I had heard that that's not even like a drill that people really use. They don't look like that.
No, they really don't even exist.
I think
they got a drill head that has that, but you usually just have that in a regular drill.
Like a little drill.
Yes. Yeah, because, you're lunking this thing around. And
I'm pretty sure that is technically an auger.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, it's like ice fishing auger. That's what it is. And it's like, oh, okay.
And... They probably had to make that head special because I don't think you can.
I highly doubt it.
I don't think that would do much.
I highly doubt it
because augers have like a really fucking scary looking tip on the end because it's
they drill through the ice,
blades, and then like a little bit of drill stuff inside.
Yeah, and then you obviously push it down and push it back up, and
take that, fucking James. Goddamn troll.
Gotta love Janice.
I bet James A. Janice loved this movie.
I bet he did. I think there's kill counts in these movies.
You think?
I think so. Yeah.
Of the remake too?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No.
Well,
we beat him. Fuck you, James.
Fuck you troll.
No.
True Michiganders are from the UP.
Yeah. Fucking troll. Another bridger. Oh, shit. No, that dude's a legend.
He's never going to see this.
No, absolutely. It made Tim or what's...
They're like, who are these guys who have like 3 followers who keep talking shit at James?
Right. No, but it was so awesome seeing him. just come from little Friday the 13th and then just boom from there.
Yeah, we've been watching him since...
I think it came out in 2018, 2019.
And I know I was watching him before COVID.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's been around for a while now.
It's been crazy to see how fast he's.
No, I've always liked the podcast even more than a kill count.
Oh, I always liked the podcast more too.
Yeah.
I listen to their D&D podcast too.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah. No,
and we watched Drunk Disney.
Yeah, they're fun. No, James is the typical horror guy.
No, we're just messing with you.
Oh, well, of course. Yeah.
Everything's in good fun.
Yes. Yeah, we don't really hate you at all. We just want to get up at least one on you, at least. That's usually not possible.
Well,
yeah, he's covered a lot of fucking films.
Yeah. Between the podcast and the kill count?
A lot of movies.
Anyways, fuck you, James.
So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the kills are good. I mean, it's just a typical 80s TNA movie. I mean, yeah.
It's a very Roger Corman-esque formula.
Yes, very much so. How about you, John? How about for the good?
Well, I do like a lot of the kills.
Okay.
I like a lot of the writing, like the dialogue writing.
Okay.
It all
did
struck
you really?
Me. I did. Because
I cannot really remember one epic line from
there is a part where I forget his name. When they're in the shower, do you remember what they were talking about? They're in the shower and they're talking about how hot the fucking quarterback from the Cleveland Browns at the time is.
Yeah. Sure.
It's Sipe.
Okay.
I think. It's something Sipe.
no
Brian Sipe?
No idea.
Yeah. But that's what they're talking about.
Wow.
And actually they're talking about different professional sports.
Okay.
And I think that's interesting because they're all athletes. So they're all talking about sports and shit.
Course. Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. I just felt like a lot of the dialogue felt very mundane, but also in, like, a kind of realistic way.
Okay.
How kids talk to each other.
Right. Especially back then, too. I mean, not really any... Well, definitely any social fucking media or any internet or nothing like that.
Yeah, back when people were normal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yeah. How about the bad for you, John?
There's a little too much nudity in this movie.
No, yeah, really? Oh, yeah, you're not one for nudity in film. Yeah, you're not. You're not really one for that.
I'm not big on sex scenes in film for the most part. Sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes it's just gratuitous and pointless. And that's when I don't like it.
Right.
But this isn't like a movie that you could watch in, like, a public setting.
Oh, God. Fuck no. Absolutely not. No.
Well, I guess you could, but I don't think there's something fucking wrong with you.
You'd be definitely called the fucking creep after showing that film.
Yeah.
Fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. It's all minor shit that I have.
I mean, it's just like, it's a basic film. I mean, there isn't really much to it.
I mean, I kind of hate all the guy characters, but like I think they're meant to be that way.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I think it was awesome too. I'm gonna go back to the good when she machetes off the drill bit.
Yes,
and that's kind of like an allegory to size of penis.
Yep.
And I'm like,
she cuts his dick off.
Pretty much. It was like, oh, this is kind of funny.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I really love that final like struggle at the pool.
Yeah.
That whole thing is really cool.
Right. Yeah, I really don't have anything for the bad. I mean, it's just a simple film.
I really liked the guy who played Russ Thorne in this movie.
His name was Michael Viella, or Villa.
Yeah, that's right. Because I think Joe Bob had talked about it.
Okay.
And apparently he was very proud of his role in this movie.
I would imagine he was.
And I totally understand why. He was very good in it.
Right, he was just like the guy from Blood Feast.
Because I think Joe Bob said that he only did one other movie.
Oh, is that right?
I think so.
I mean, he was probably in his 50s.
Yeah.
In this movie. Yeah. It just screamed that Blood Feast. He just has that same look. I mean,
it never connected with me, but because I was like, man, he kind of looks familiar, but he just kind of looks like.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he has the same mannerisms and everything. I'm like, this is fucking Blood Feast. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything for the bad. It's a simple film.
It's a very simple film, and I don't dislike anything in it, really.
I mean, it's just like...
That's why my bad is, like, I don't know, I guess, like... Well, I guess my bad would be I don't like that the end of the gym chase was a cutaway kill.
Yeah. I mean, that's just understandable for the budget.
Yeah.
You can't show everything.
But I would have at least, like... Even if the kill itself isn't on screen, it should be like,
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah, it's just cheap.
You gotta show something after a long chase like that.
Right.
I think the funniest scene in this movie, to me, was...
Oh, God, what?
It's like the first kill where that guy is, like, weirdly hitting on the telephone lady, and then she, like... It cuts to them talking, and then in the background, you just see her get like dragged into the van.
Oh yes, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Oh man, this guy's wasting no fucking time.
Either. And it's just the way she goes. She because she just goes. Huh?
Yeah, that isn't much. No,
just like gets taken into the van.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to those guys talking after that. And you just see the van, like, shaking in the background or something. Yeah. I don't remember exactly how it went. But,
that's that typical 80s early slasher
And then they had another good scene where it showed them talking, and then it showed her dead in the dumpster while they were talking, if I remember right.
Yes. It's simple stuff like that.
It's simple stuff like that that... Like, it's stuff like that makes me almost view this as a comedy, and I understand why people see it as a parody, but
I mean, I think I see it more as a parody than
I don't know if it's meant to be or not, and that's the weird thing.
I don't know, but it feels like it.
Yeah.
It does.
Either way, I think the direction's really good in this movie.
Yeah. I don't have anything for the ugly either.
No.
I mean, I guess it's too simple of a film.
Some 80s sexism.
I mean, that's just 80s sexism.
That's just at the 80s. It's pretty much the same now, I guess.
Yes. It's just there for a slasher film.
And, like, hey, all the sexist guys get killed.
Whatever. Absolutely. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? Yeah. I like this movie a lot.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
The more I've watched this movie, the more I've liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have to watch it again to really understand it, because there was so much shit going on. And a lot of the dialogue is useless.
Yes.
And, I mean, a lot of it is, like, okay.
But that's what's fun about it.
I know.
Where I think the useless dialogue makes it feel more like kids at a slumber party.
Right. And I just found it funny, too, when I see that message. I'm like, why would somebody change out of their regular clothes into pajamas right in front of other people? And she was butt-ass naked. And it's like, I don't think that happens. I mean, maybe.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe that happened in the 80s. I don't know.
If I remember right, they were in like school swimming pools, boys were expected to swim naked up until the 70s in some places in the U.S.
How awful is that?
Like my grandpa used to always talk about how they had to do swimming at school naked, and my grandma never believed him.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And then I found out about that, and I brought it up, and she was like, "Wait, so he's telling the truth?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, probably, because they didn't stop it until the 70s."
Wow. If pool in fucking high school isn't bad enough, imagine that shit. I mean, you're fucking self-conscious anyways because you're a fucking teenager.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyways, that's enough of that film. Then we got the
remake.
The remake of 2021, a sci-fi exclusive.
I know literally nothing about this movie other than I watched it once.
And I looked up the budget, and it's unknown, and box office doesn't exist. because there is no box office.
It was rated 16 plus,
Yes.
which was the first thing that made me nervous when I rented this movie.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, God.
And so, obviously, because
that's basically telling me this is PG-13.
And because it was on Sci-Fi, there was no nudity, but with the streaming and the Blu-ray, you get the nudity, the one piece of nudity from Matt's ass in the fucking shower. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my God, that was so goddamn
That's why
funny.
I wanted to wait till
I was dying.
Oh my God, dude, what the fuck was that?
My wife was cleaning, and she, sat there and watched the movie with me for a little bit, and then, I was already freaking out, because I was like, oh my God, this twist is so fucking funny. And I love it. And then, it goes into the most gratuitous scene with a guy's ass that you've ever seen, and it's so goddamn funny.
What the fuck was that?
They literally would cut away to things, and then they would cut back to his ass and, play, music in the background.
It was like a fucking porn. It was like a Skinemax porn music.
Exactly!
I mean, they just kept cutting away and then panning around his ass, and I'm like, what am I watching right now? Well, how did this come? Because it was like we were talking about. It's because he was smelling the thing in the freezer.
Yeah.
And then he lifts up his shirt and he goes, oh, I smell. And then, of course, he rips off his shirt and then he has the slow pan into the shower. And then he has the towel around his waist.
Oh, that was
so he dropped it. And I'm like, what is happening here?
It's like the shower scene in the original.
I know that. But it's now a male.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what makes it great.
I'm like, what? How did this happen?
So, this is a remake of the Slumber Party Massacre. It's a remake of The Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah.
And it came out in 2021, and it is a complete fucking twist on it, and it's so goddamn funny, and it's so well done. I can't believe I'm saying that about a sci-fi original picture.
Yeah.
But, holy fucking shit.
They did their best.
You can tell...
Danishka Esterhazy, you did your best. And she also directed, I don't know if you remember this, but we did not watch this film. She did the Banana Splits movie.
I wanted to watch that.
We did not watch that.
Wow. We should watch that.
There are so many films, John, that we haven't watched that we completely forgot about.
I was just thinking about that Banana Splits movie the other day.
Why?
Because every time I think about Willy's Wonderland, I think about it. Because it's the same movie.
Yeah.
Or it's just, they're similar.
Yes. Yes. It is probably better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean, most movies about animatronics that kill people are better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
Do you remember we got
that version of it that I've seen?
Remember we got that horror pass just for Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah, and we ended up liking literally every other movie better than it.
Correct.
We saw Exorcist Believer in theaters, and we thought it was better than Five Nights at Freddy's.
I don't understand the hate of that film. I didn't mind that film.
I mean, look.
I mean, it's not needed, but did I mind it? No.
There was nothing outright offensive about it.
No.
It was a film about exorcists.
So what?
And exorcism.
So what? That just there's hundreds of them.
I mean, it was a little bit corny, but
what?
Who gives a fuck? People make corny.
So what
movies.
did we watch? We watched The Nun 2.
We did, and I liked that one. I expected to hate that movie because I hated
that
The
was
Nun.
easily one of the best ones in the 4 movies that we saw. So we saw The Nun 2, Exorcism. What else did we watch in that 4?
Saw X.
Oh, yes, that's it. That's the other one. Yeah, Saw X.
Nope, there were 5.
No, there was 4.
Nope. Then Five Nights at Freddy's, and then...
I thought there was 4.
I'm pretty sure there were 5.
I know. I know that there was Saw X, FNAF, Nun 2, and Exorcism.
Well, we said I think we paid $40 for it, and we said we paid $5 per movie.
I'll have to look back.
Although I guess that would be 4, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Wait. That math doesn't add up.
That was also, we got the 2 for the Long Legs and Cuckoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. $8 a movie.
Marcus Theaters, man.
They actually have a new one with slashers, but They're all older ones.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
and it started months ago, I think.
I think it started in late September.
Yeah.
Anyways, because I haven't seen really anything like that we had last year.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Well, there aren't a lot of movies. Oh.
Which is very surprising to me.
Terrifier 3 is out.
I mean, Terrifier is not that big of a draw, though.
I disagree. Because Terrifier 2 did really well.
I don't know. All right, back to this film.
Yeah.
We got... okay, I'm just going to go through the names.
I don't know the names of almost anyone except Guy 1 and Guy 2 because I thought that joke was funny.
Right. We got Hannah. That's the main character. And that's Trisha's daughter.
I thought her name was Diana.
No, her name is Hannah.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry. That's her OG name, and her name in the movie is Dana.
Oh,
Dana Devereaux. Kind of like how you spell your last name.
Devereaux.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then you got Maeve or Maeve, Brainy. I thought this is a very real different name to spell Alex. Is Alix.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah. And then you got Kay Thorne, the mom of Russ.
Oh, Kay Thorne.
Yep.
But we don't find that out until
correct. Later. Guy 1, Guy 2, John.
Yep.
And then Matt, and then I did in quotations shower guy.
That's the glasses guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about the guy who had the tribal tattoo. I don't know his name.
I think John is the one.
John is the guy who confronts.
He's the one that survives.
Yes,
he's the one that fucking leaves.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
He's just like, nah, people are getting killed here. Fuck this. Right. Just gets the fuck out of here.
Right. So that's kind of our characters.
He says, I found Guy 1 in the freezer, and I'm out of here.
Yeah. Right. And start with the plot. We have a flashback to 93.
Yep.
With Trisha, and then we have her friends. I don't know their names.
All of Trisha's friends get killed.
Yep.
Well, one of them's Jackie. They say their names as they hit him.
Right.
But I don't remember their names.
It doesn't matter. Because Trisha's the only one that survives.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously that's the Trish from the original one. And then obviously she has a child, Dana.
Mm-hmm.
And Dana really doesn't like her parenting style because obviously the parenting style is a little bit more
hands-on.
Protected. Yeah. Because she had that problem. So, and then they kind of leave. And then their truck supposedly breaks down.
Well, yeah, their truck breaks down.
Yeah.
They meet,
okay.
What's his name? Ben?
The guy? The hick?
Dave.
Yep, Dave.
I think his name's Dave.
Yeah.
And he has one of the funniest fucking lines in it, where one of the girls like shows him her cleavage, and she's just like,
"Yeah, that was
well, will this get us? Well, will this get us out of here tonight?" And he's like, "Probably not."
He didn't even fucking blink, dude. That's why it was great. It's like, oh, this movie's gonna be good. That guy did not even fucking break.
That guy's just like, I don't know.
No, we're not gonna go to a car park because of you showing off your titties. You're not.
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna happen. Yeah. And then obviously they talk to Kay at the gas station, and then they go to.
And Kay is just like fucking weird from the start.
Yeah. She kind of has that Betsy Palmer feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we go to the house where it happened.
Yep. Well, no, we go to the house across the lake from where it happened.
Correct. Yep.
And they say that they tried to get the original one, but they couldn't. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even listed.
Right.
But somehow these guys got it.
Yeah, how'd you like that rip a pillow part?
That was, dude, the way they go out of their the way they go out of their way to like be like, all right, well, they do like all the dumb girl shit in the original movie. Let's have all the guys do dumb guy shit. Yeah. And they're like trying to rip pillows in half and like playing beer pong.
Right. And it's so funny too, because I think the guy who loses at beer pong goes outside to take a piss, and then he sees through the the fucking window. I think the guys are talking about him or something.
Yeah.
Or they're partying, and then he sees that the driller killer, and he's like, "Did you notice that?
No,
that's how he was looking at him."
But isn't that the guy who like geeks out over him?
Yes. Yes, it is.
And he's like, "Oh my god, it was so cool to meet you." And Driller Killer just looks at him like,
"Oh my god, he has such the best facial expressions."
This guy belongs in movies.
He does.
He was made for movies.
Very good.
Put him in more shit.
Yes, I agree.
The guy who plays Russ Thorne in this movie, perfect.
Yep.
No notes.
Right.
And like my wife was just talking about like, "Oh, he's really good in this movie," and then he like starts talking and he's got like that weird high-pitched voice, and she goes, "Really? That's how he's going to talk?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's all part of it."
Right. Exactly. No, that's kind of like the plot. It's obviously they're shifting up roles.
Yeah.
That's what I like. They're shifting up the gender roles.
It's a gender bender, but it like this feels like they were. I feel like this is what they were trying to do with the Black Christmas remake from 2020, except they totally fucking failed with that one and made a miserable viewing experience. This one's fun.
Yes.
This is like exactly what I would want from that kind of like twist.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Yep. Where they're like, the women in the movie are the ones who are taking power and the men are all the ones who are getting killed.
Yep.
Until they successfully kill Russ.
Right.
The girls kill Russ. And then I was like, but wait, there's half an hour left of this movie.
Yeah. Right.
And then Kay becomes the killer.
Yep,
and starts killing the women.
Like Mrs. Voorhees.
Yep.
Yeah. Like good old Pamela.
And she's great in it too.
Yeah.
And there are so many little references. Like there's a part where Russ is standing there on top of the guys, and they do like a reference to the original poster where it just shows his legs and the drill's coming down between his legs, and all the guys are like on the ground. It's so good.
Right.
You can tell like they cared about this movie.
Right.
And like whoever made it was just like, yeah, this is like a good movie. And we like it.
Yes.
And we are going to pay a lot of homage. At one point, someone brings out the fucking guitar from Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yes.
And it's like, look what I found in the... in the fucking... Also, that's the coolest kill in the movie.
That is by far.
Yeah.
That is by far the best kill.
Yeah. Because there's a part where... There's several points where people, like, sword fight with Russ with different objects... in the drill. Like at this one, he's fighting him with the drill with the guitar, and he's wearing like the jacket and the leather jacket, and like has the guitar. So it's almost like Russ Thorne versus what's his face from the second movie, who's the only good part in that movie. Yeah,
that is the only good part of that film.
It's like, oh, at least this guy has some charisma going on.
Barely,
I guess.
Barely, but yes. And so the guitar strings get caught up in the drill, and then it just spins around, and it's like...
The head breaks, the guitar strings get caught up in the drill, and then it just starts spinning the guitar strings around, and it like slices his face apart.
No,
so good.
Great.
It was a cool fucking effect.
Yeah.
It could have been better if they had like a decent budget, probably. Because I can't imagine this had a great budget.
No idea.
Sci-fi originals.
No idea. But I could not find anything about that.
Give these people more movies. I think I liked everyone in this movie. The only actor who I thought was a little off was Alex at the end when she's supposed to be sick and throwing up all over the place.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, She should not have done that with the cookies.
Although I immediately understood what was happening the minute she was like, "Oh yeah, someone left cookies," and she's eating the cookies. I'm like, or she said, "Kay brought over cookies for them," and I was like, "Wait,
you're gonna die,
Kay."
You're gonna die.
She's the killer.
Yeah.
Or she's also a killer.
Yeah. And she kind of had that same feeling of Pamela.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And I love that scene. I will move on to the good, where Dana is looking at the three friends from the exact same. I swear to God, it was the same fucking place as Friday the 13th Part 2, where Paul is talking to all the counselors.
Yep.
It's the same exact type of scene.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is such a good homage.
It's the whole thing feels like a love letter to slashers.
It really does.
And I loved it.
I did not expect that of this film.
I didn't expect this to be good.
No, I expected this to be just a dreadful
I was
mess.
like, oh man, I remember Terror Train. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That's another movie we gotta watch.
Terror Train 2?
Yes, we do.
I was saying I hope they made a second one because maybe it would be more interesting.
I highly doubt it's going to be more interesting.
Or no, I'm thinking of Castle Freak. Oh, Terror Train 2 is going to be a fucking waste.
Yes, it's going to be very bad.
Maybe we'll do that in November too.
Sure. Great.
We'll do Sudbury Devil, Terror Train 2.
Thanksgiving. Something else.
No, that'll be all the weeks in November.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, yes, it would be. Yes, it would be. Yeah, but that is my one big thing for the good, is that it is an homage to a lot of other slashers.
It feels like a love letter to slasher movies.
Yep.
And I appreciate that a lot.
Right. And that was so good when Kay was talking about her son, and it's like, this is just Pamela talking to Alice. This is literally Pamela just talking to Alice. That's what it is.
I half expected her to be like, look what you did to him.
Yeah, I was expecting that, but I knew they probably couldn't do that. So.
No, it would have been too obvious then.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't, because then it would have been a little too much.
Yeah.
But it was just enough, just so people who are big fans of the series,
absolutely,
would see it.
100%. Yep. That wasn't very hard to see. Yep.
I still love that. I love the fridge scene in this one.
Yeah.
I love all the guys in this movie, even though a lot of them are portrayed as assholes, but everyone just seems so fun.
I think another good thing for me too is that when Matt and John are watching them just absolutely try slash and cut and then just do that to Russ. Yeah. It's like, these people are killers.
That was okay, so that's one of the big things we didn't really talk about, was the fact that that all of the the first thing that happens, these two guys are like, oh, girls, hey, girls, and then Matt.
Yes.
They're like, oh yeah, we're really big fans of this this true crime podcast about serial killers. So we've been doing a serial killer tour around the country.
Yep.
And we decided to come here for the Driller Killer. And they're like, oh yeah. And
wait a second, is that like a tribute to Unsolved?
I don't know. Like the show?
Yeah. What are those guys' names? The guys who do the paranormal investigations. One guy's a real smart ass.
Oh, Shane and Ryan.
Yeah. Maybe that's because one of them kind of looks like Shane and the other one kind of looks like Ryan.
I don't think it's that deep.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
From BuzzFeed Unsolved, that isn't really BuzzFeed Unsolved anymore.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, it's totally different people now.
Oh, okay.
Because Shane and Ryan went on to make Watcher and then ruined their careers by saying they were leaving YouTube and going to their own streaming platform.
Oh, yeah, then that's you're dead. Dead in the water.
And then everyone got really mad about it, so they were like, well, then we'll release it on our streaming platform, and then a month later we'll release it on YouTube.
Oh, I did not know that.
Their views dropped from 2 to 3 million to their new episode of Ghost Files has $460,000.
Wow.
They have tanked their careers.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. I think they wanted to do the Dropout thing.
Wow.
Because Dropout's really successful with their streaming service.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, that was so funny.
I don't know. It could be a reference to any number of true crime podcasts. Do you remember what the name of the podcast on there is?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
Yeah, it's okay. It really doesn't matter.
I'm sure it was a reference to something.
Yeah, sure. Right. No, I just thought that scene was funny. I mean, them just hacking Russ every which way possible, and they're like, "Oh, we should call 911."
Throughout the whole thing, John and Matt, or Matt at least, thinks that all of the girls are killers because he starts noticing, because they just reveal that they've actually all come here to kill, to lure out Russ Thorne and kill him.
Yes.
As revenge for what happened to her mom.
Yes.
And then the guys show up at the door, and then Matt, starts noticing, there are knives hidden in all of the pillows.
Yes.
And he's like, "Nah, I think we should go, John."
Right. We gotta get out of here.
"No, we have to go. Yeah, bye."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Dude, I think those are murderers. They're crazy." So the whole rest of the movie after that, there's this ongoing thing where Russ is hunting the guys because they are in the murder cabin.
Yep.
But the guys all think that the girls are murderers.
Yes. Yep. It's just so good.
And there are so many little lines that are so silly to me, but they remind me of dialogue from the original movie almost. Okay. Where it's there's the part where I think it's Brainy is just like, "No, you," and points at John, "You shouldn't go." And he goes, "Oh, but I have to, because my toxic masculinity tells me I have to go outside."
Right.
And all the guys are like, "Yeah, bro, what are you going to do? You going to come outside with us?" And he's like, "Oh, I got to go outside."
I love
it was so dumb, but so fucking funny.
Right. Oh, that type of shit is so funny. Oh, I love it.
They did that kind of shit in the Black Christmas remake. Okay. But do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
But it wasn't as funny.
It's a terrible movie, that's why.
Yeah.
It's a terrible film.
For some reason, the writing in that one didn't land. The writing in this one did. Mm-hmm. The writing in this one felt like it was laughing with us.
It's light.
Yeah.
It's very light. It's supposed to be light.
Yeah, and
it's funny because that's how the OG was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love John is just like, "No, you're gonna kill us because of your man-hating feminist plots." Yeah. She's just like, "Do you realize how sexist everything you just said was?" Uh-huh. And he's like, "Fuck!" And the best part was my wife and I were sitting there watching, and I was laughing because I'm like, she's holding a stick and he's holding a pot, and neither of them are going to be able to fight with each other effectively.
Right.
But they're both just uh-huh. And then she's like, "Look, we just want to take the car." And he's like, "Well, I have the keys. You could just ask me."
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, well, can you bring the car over and help my friends?" He goes, "Oh, yeah." And then he takes the car and just leaves.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Of course. Wouldn't you?
Of course I would.
Absolutely.
I'd be like, "Nah, I just found guy one in a fucking the fucking freezer.
Yeah,
I know for a fact other people are dead, and I saw these girls desecrating a corpse earlier. Yeah. I'm out."
Yeah, I gotta get out.
I was out before this.
Right. Yeah. No, that shit is just funny. So is that some of your good?
Yeah, a little bit. I love a lot of the writing.
Okay, go ahead.
Just because it's so fucking goofy.
Okay.
I love that freezer scene. I love the guitar because it's just a cool guitar.
Yep.
I just wish it also had a drill on it. Because the one in 2 has a drill on it.
Yes,
that's his murder weapon, is the guitar with a drill on it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that looks like, fuck is that comedian's name from the 80s?
Lenny Bruce?
No.
That's not from the 80s.
No, it is not. I'll have to get his name.
I totally failed.
We'll talk about that.
Sam Kinison.
No. Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
The guy that George Carlin hated.
Yes. Yeah.
Because George Carlin said he wasn't funny.
Yeah, he had his funny moments.
Because he went after the lower class instead of the upper class, and comedy is all about tearing down people at the higher levels.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I mean that's for the next video.
If I remember right, what George Carlin said was if an old lady falls down the stairs, it's a tragedy. But if the Pope falls down the stairs, it becomes funny because you wouldn't expect it of the Pope.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, how about any more for your good, my friend?
Oh, there's a lot good about this movie.
Okay.
I just love
overall just good.
This movie is great.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
No notes.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy both these movies a lot.
How about for the bad?
I would have liked to see a little bit more gore, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's a TV movie.
Correct.
And that's the only downside I would say.
I agree. I mean, it's a slasher that's on TV.
Yeah. I would have liked to see a little bit more gore.
Yep.
But it didn't need it.
No. I mean, I didn't expect it at all.
I expected no gore because I saw 16 plus and I was like, oh, fuck, this is basically a PG-13 movie.
Right.
And then, like, the first thing we saw was, like, someone get drilled through the eye and I was like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
Right.
So, I didn't hate it and, I didn't have a problem with a lot of the gore effects. It's just, I would have liked a little bit more, like, because there were a lot of, like, gore effects, but there wasn't, like, blood. Pooling or anything like that. And I would have liked a little bit of that with the kills.
Right.
Because, like, they have that scene where with the guitar string that's going around the drill and it carves up his face. But, like, there's no blood in that scene. It's just, like, chunks. Yeah. And, like, then you see his face kind of angled.
Correct.
And I think if you had that with, like, some blood splatter going on, that would have been way, way cooler.
Right. Well, I mean, you get what you get. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I have for the bad, too. I don't have anything for the ugly.
Nothing. I don't either.
Nothing even close.
It doesn't suffer from any kind of sexism because it feels more like it's making fun of shitty people.
Yes, and that's what it's great. I just did not expect that from this film.
I expected nothing from this movie because I was just like, oh man, another fucking Terror Train, another fucking Castle Freak,
another just dreadful film.
Like Terror Train remake and Castle Freak.
Yes, yeah.
We're not. I love the original Castle Freak
and Terror Train
and the original Terror Train. That's a great movie.
The remakes are ghastly.
Well, I wouldn't say Terror Train is a great movie, but Terror Train is a fine movie.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Yes,
but Terror Train remake it's not fucking miserable.
I think Castle Freak may be worse.
In terms of acting, yes.
Yes.
But I think I enjoyed it more as a movie.
Yeah, that doesn't take much.
But I think I only enjoyed it more as a movie because of like where it left off, where it was like, yeah, and we can do a cinematic
great
universe with this stuff.
Fucking great.
It's like great. This Castle Freak is a kickoff for this shit.
Fuck.
Can't wait to do the new Reanimator movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that's I mean, final thoughts. It's a fantastic film. I never thought I'd say that. It's truly a fantastic film.
I loved every second of it. Right. I can't believe I loved every second of it.
I cannot believe that.
I went in expecting to hate this movie.
I did too.
Or at the very least, be bored by it.
Yeah.
And
nothing about it was
I was
boring.
thoroughly entertained. I loved every second of it. I wasn't upset by anything in it. I was just happy watching this movie.
It was truly a fun watch.
Yeah.
While the first one, I did not feel like
it was funny. It was creepy.
Right.
Because, like, Russ Thorne talks a lot more in the remake, but, like, it works.
Yeah.
Like, Russ
It's
Thorne,
not meant to be serious.
It doesn't.
That's why he has that light voice.
It doesn't even matter if it's, like, supposed to be silly or not, because he comes across as creepy.
Yes.
And he doesn't need to be scary. You don't need to have jump scares, although it does have a few jump scares.
It does.
But what I always think works best in movies or video games, like I've been playing the new Silent Hill 2, and the new Silent Hill 2 has a trophy where you don't use the radio, right? And you said, oh, that sounds like it ruins it. what it does is it makes every single encounter with a monster a jump scare.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because every single one is hiding, especially in the apartment where I'm dealing with mannequins.
Okay.
And they just stand still, and they've reorganized the rooms to make there be hiding places that you can't see anything in. So you just come across and you just hear,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of gets you. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Now, what is your pick for Gen Wars, John?
Am I going first?
Of course you can.
I'm going to piss everybody off. I'm going to go with the remake.
I think everybody realizes that I'm going to go with the remake compared to the original.
Like, I love the original movie.
This is a much better film.
I love the original movie. I love this remake. And I never thought... I never thought I would see a remake of a movie where I was just like, wow, this is fucking great, and I love it.
Yep. And we sure as hell haven't really had that.
It's the best fucking remake since Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I can't even believe I'm saying that about a fucking sci-fi original movie.
You know. And I think before, we even did it. I think the OG won, correct?
I don't know.
I think it did.
I think
because even parts 1 and 2.
I think it did because we did it chapter 1 and 2 versus the miniseries, and I think the miniseries won because I liked how much more stable everything was.
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference between it chapter 1 and chapter 2 in terms of tone and things, which is fine. Sure. I don't have a problem with that.
No.
But I just really liked how the miniseries flowed better, I think.
Yep. I do too.
Although I like the actors and everything way more in the remake.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, it did. I mean, the original did have John Ritter and Timothy Curry.
Yeah. I mean, I loved all of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anyways, yeah, I think the remake is
you heard it here first.
2021.
Slumber Party Massacre from 2021 is the superior film.
Yes.
Over the original.
By far. By far.
And I can't believe we're saying that, but tune in next week for more
Slumber Party Massacre Part 2 with Andrew Dice Clay.
It's not actually Andrew Dice Clay.
It's a guy who looks exactly. It's a guy who dresses up just like Andrew Dice Clay. That kills people with a guitar.
Tune in next week for the continuation of Psycho Juicebox Halloween Slumber Party. We're all in our pajamas all day.
Yes.
All weeks.
Love it. Love it.
So.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.